So the book shows this incredible swath of quotes from different eras and shifting views over time, too, on your part. One quote not in the book, this is not an ambush, I said that I was going to ask about this, is from a 1998 essay you wrote about Bill Clinton called Feminists and the Clinton Question. And you wrote, if all the sexual allegations now swirling around the White House turn out to be true, President Clinton may be a candidate for sex addiction therapy, but even if the allegations are true, the president is not guilty of sexual harassment. He's accused of having made a gross, dumb, and reckless pass. President Clinton took no for an answer. How have your views on that changed?
Well, I wrote that at a certain point of knowing. So the facts that I knew were that Monica Lewinsky was bravely, incredibly bravely, while locked up in a hotel suite with FBI agents and, everybody trying to get her to say that this relationship was against her will. She refused to say it was against her will. And the other case that was known at that point was, I've forgotten her name, but a woman in Arkansas.
Paula Jones.
Paula
Jennifer
Jones,
Flowers.
right. Who actually, under huge pressure from the right-wing groups that were putting her forward, he said to me, I wouldn't want you to do anything you don't want to do. All right. So we're not anti-sex here. We're just talking about consent. Now, as you point out, there's another case that came forward about Clinton, but that...
The Juanita Broaddrick allegation,
yeah.
And she claims that many years ago he raped her and has maintained that story consistently, told a lot of people at the time. I have not investigated that case, but certainly it has all the trappings of a credible claim that merits closer looks.
Yeah, no, we were talking about this before. If I had known that at the time, I wouldn't have written the op-ed page piece. We're not against sex, hello. We're just in favor of welcome sex, not just consent, welcome, right? So I wouldn't be able to write it now because more facts are known, but at the time, it was important to write.
And I guess there's two layers to that. And I have to say, I've always admired how you are extraordinarily forthright about talking about when you have changed your mind or evolved on something or were wrong about something, which is like a lesson we all have to teach ourselves over and over and over again to just say, oh, I have changed my mind on that. There is the more serious set of allegations against Bill Clinton that are facts that were somewhat buried at the time, and this goes back to the themes of media complicity. Juanita Broaddrick gave interviews at the time and in the years after and claims that those were suppressed or downplayed in various ways. And then there's the additional layer of sincere change happening in how we view a case like Monica Lewinsky's, including on Lewinsky's part. I've had conversations with her where she's, appeared to process in real time, okay, was this actually the love affair that I thought it was, given the power imbalance and the circumstances of, not just the most powerful person at your workplace, but the most powerful person in the country and an intern. So do you feel like on that count too, your views have shifted?
I think I would take Monica's word. I know her. She is incredibly smart and courageous. Yeah. And I feel terrible about the way she's been treated over time. And she was so brave against, she was, locked up with all these FBI agents and so on, trying to make her say that it was against her will. And she was saying, no, I came there, I was attracted to him, I came there with the intention and hope of having an affair. That's why I worked as an... So, I respect that. And she had the support of a lot of young women and the opposition of a lot of mothers. Because young women viewed her as, somebody who was saying, yes, we have a sexual will of our own. And mothers were saying, no, but the age difference makes it different. So, I think that who we should listen to is Monica Lewinsky.
It's worth going back and watching. She, I think to pay her legal bills, sort of broke a long period of silence, maybe in the early 2000s, and did a documentary called Monica in Black and White. Do you remember that?
No, I didn't see that.
It's extremely compelling because it is a town hall with Monica Lewinsky, shot in black and white. It's very stylish. But more significantly, it is her kind of talking about this stuff and processing it for the first time in a long time. And it's an interesting snapshot of that moment, and it also very succinctly lays out the facts, and I think you've hit on the crux of it. We haven't talked enough as a culture about the ways in which Monica Lewinsky was terribly mistreated by the media, by the Clintons and people around them, by the authorities, by everyone involved in the Starr report, and on and on and on. Everyone on both sides of the aisle treated Monica Lewinsky in such a terrible, demeaning way.
No, I agree, and I think that was true of the women in the Clinton family too. I mean, they didn't have to. I don't know if they publicly said bad things about it, I don't remember, but we as women have to bond with other women who are having a hard time, regardless, and not be totally loyal to the guy who was the bad guy.